Hello, this is Thinking Out Loud with Ian Currey. Today I'm watching the trains go by. Do you ever need to just sit and do nothing in particular? I do. I've had a busy week that has just about worn me out. Not everything has gone right and it's been quite a difficult time actually. Do you have those kind of weeks? I'm sure you do. Come on, let me tell you what I think. This past month or two, I suppose you could say the whole year, has been very unpredictable, hasn't it? My work has come in fits and starts with really busy times like right now, and then long periods of time where I'm sitting around wondering what I'm going to do next. It's just hard to plan when things are like that, isn't it? Sometimes big urgent projects have come up exactly at the wrong time. Just when I leave on a long trip somewhere, something at home is bound to go wrong and it needs urgent attention, you know the kind of thing. And that leaves poor Hillary hanging on for dear life until I get home. Ooh. I cope reasonably well with change, but even I like things to be a little bit more predictable sometimes. Just once in a while would be nice, wouldn't it? Not knowing what I'm doing from one day to the next can be very hard. Should I get my tools out and fix something? Or should I rest because I'll be working hard for the next few days? When long, busy times hit, it is so important to find time to recharge. You have to recharge, reset, and remember what's important. If I'm not careful, I go from one project to another, and another, then a few flights in a row, and then another urgent project, and before you know what's going on, I'm getting all grumpy and impatient. What do you do to relax? Do you have fun hobbies that you share with friends? I have friends who do all sorts of things. Sometimes I relax by being with people, and sometimes I need to be all alone. After a week of flying, you'd think I'd want to stay on the ground, wouldn't you? But sometimes I like to go and fly again because it's just me and a good friend. And there it's not a plane load of passengers needing to be looked after. Recently I flew with my friend again, and this time a few other planes joined us for a short trip to a small airfield not far away. And there we had lunch. Lovely day out, and it was very relaxing actually. This week though has been really busy. And I know if I don't take time to recover, I'll be, as my mum puts it, fit for nothing in no time. So instead I watch trains go by. Unfortunately, I have a huge list of things that need to be done soon around the house too. Those things can loom over us, and just the thought of those tasks can be very heavy load. I really will get to those, and I'll show you some of the big projects I'm having to work on soon. But for today, it's much more important to look after myself and make sure I'm ready for the next busy week. So what are some of the things I'll be doing today to prepare for the week ahead? Well, you've already seen I'm watching trains go by, but to make the day perfect, I shall make a nice cup of tea. Then I'll sit down and listen to some lovely, relaxing classical music coming from this old radio I've repaired. And that was a bit of a project too, but it's very, very rewarding to hear that working again. This could easily lead to a nap, I think, don't you? But there's something else that's really important. As well as taking time to just do nothing in particular, put my feet up and enjoy the contentment of a working radio, I must also renew and refresh my mind. How do you renew your mind? It's so important to fill our minds with things that are helpful and good, isn't it? There seems to be so much in the world that is bad. People who do bad things seem to get away with them and even prosper. And that makes me so mad sometimes. Doesn't it you? Perhaps I should do those bad things too. No, of course not. But today I've several favourite parts of the Bible I'd like to digest too. The first is a reminder to stay close to Jesus and do things His way. Let me show you. It's at the end of Matthew chapter 11. And there Jesus says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Do you see that part there at the end? You will find rest for your souls. Oh, now that sounds so good to me after such a week. In a way, though, that doesn't seem to make much sense. Take a work yoke, like a donkey or something, and pull. But the verse either side of this section help us understand what's really going on. Right after this, Jesus says, "For my yoke is easy to bear," or my way of doing things is easier than going it alone, "and the burden I give you is light." I think this might be talking about those double yoke things that they put on two animals up front under one yoke. The bigger, more powerful animal, of course, always takes the most strain in that situation. I wonder if that's what's going on here. I know one thing, I'm certainly not the bigger of the two in that situation. Jesus is, of course. Being right beside Jesus as we plough through life would certainly put us in His shadow, wouldn't it? Psalm 91 starts off with another glimpse of this idea. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Being yoked together with Jesus sounds at first like hard work, but then as you think about it, it's kind of fun, isn't it? The writer goes on to say, "He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, I trust Him." Trusting God and allowing Him to show us how and to guide every step of our daily lives is so much easier than figuring it out on our own. This place of safety, though, seems to have a condition attached to it. Look, those who live in the shelter. The idea here seems to be that it's not just a quick visit, maybe once a week, but a place where we live all of the time. As I face a busy week, I always try to start it off on the right foot, getting into the frame of mind that will help me be open to seeing the right thing to do and the right thing to say, and even the right thing to think. Dwelling deep in the first place really helps that process. In the middle of frustrating things going on all around, I find Psalm 37 to be very helpful. It starts off by saying, "Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong." The writer then continues the theme right through the whole psalm. You could take a look at the whole thing later if you like. But verse 7 there stands out for me, and I've read it many times, but again today I saw it. "Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for Him to act." Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. It's so easy sometimes to worry or fret about what everyone else is doing instead of making sure that we are close to Jesus and finding His shadow. As I face the week ahead, that double yoke we talked about will be very important. Yes, I have a heavy week, and yes, there are things I'd rather not have to do. But after a lovely day relaxing and renewing my mind and spending time with God, I'll be just fine. And so will you. This has been another episode of Thinking Out Loud with Ian Currey. Invite your friends to visit, and if you've enjoyed watching the trains go by with me, subscribe. And you can leave a comment below. Tell me how you relax. Until next time, goodbye.